Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Oracle Wisdom. For those of you joining me for the very first time, my name is Natralie Sadie. We are going to have a look at what the Oracle cards have to tell us about the energies for the week ahead. As always, I'm starting with the Ascending Life Oracle, one of my favorite MahrukhX decks that I own, and I already have cards. Jumping out here. So let's just pull a couple more and then we'll get into it. I hope that everybody had a wonderful weekend. Mine was super busy. I feel like I need a day off from the weekend. Okay, so the first card that we have out is Man. A male friend enters your life, a male romantic interest. A man will assist you, and a man will play a key role. So this is interesting to me because if you've been watching for the last several weeks, it's always woman that has been jumping out. So this time it's a male that is going to be playing a significant role in what's going on for you this week. The next card out is Coldness, absence of love, love life is blocked, frozen in some area of your life, emotions buried deep within. And then, pardon me. And then we had one more card that jumped out, which was Birth. New opportunities, starting over, reinventing yourself, birth of a child, idea, or project. So I feel like this could move in two different directions. So we'll start with the romantic direction. There could be someone, if men are what you're interested in, there could be a new man entering your life, and maybe it's coming in right as you feel like you're never going to find anyone. The annoying saying that everybody likes to tell single people is you'll meet someone when you least expect it. And it's absolutely true, but it's so annoying to hear. So if you're sitting in that place where you just feel like everything in terms of romantic relationships are blocked, you may find that this week somebody just rolls on in and kind of knocks you on your ass. And then obviously, if there is a romantic connection that's already going on, it may become a more significant factor in regard to the whole Birth card coming out. So that's one direction that this can play out. The other thing is this could be more about somebody coming in to help you with something that you've been working on. Okay, it's interesting because I've just had a couple more cards jump out. So this could be that somebody's coming in a work capacity or maybe a friendship capacity, but there is, there's a whole lot coming out. There is somebody coming in and they're going to be playing a significant role, whether that be work, whether it be around friendship, whether it just be a mentoring thing. And the mentoring could be in relation to the fact that you're feeling blocked. And so it doesn't need to be a romantic thing. It may just feel like you've got everything buried deep and you're not able to access it, or you're not able to release it and let the world know for whatever reason, whether you feel that it's inappropriate, whether you feel unsafe in sharing all of that. But I feel like this man coming in is going to play a significant role in all of that. In terms of birth, new opportunities, it could be that this person brings in something that shifts the direction of your life. Again, it doesn't need to be romantic. It doesn't need to be a literal birth. It could be something in terms of work. It could be re-looking at how you're living your life and going, you know what, I need to do this differently. I need to shift something. I need to start fresh. It could even be you just going, you know what, I'm not being authentically me, whether it be the clothes, the hair, the way you're presenting to the world. This doesn't work for me anymore. And so you make significant changes and become or present in a more authentic way. And it's not to say that who you were wasn't authentic. It just may mean that you've evolved from where you were and you're moving into this new space. So we had a whole bunch of cards jump out. So the next one out is answers. Mystery reaches its resolution, having answers and clarity. Problems will be resolved, closure from the past. So I think that in terms of the coldness and emotions buried deep, I feel like the answers are playing a part in all of this. You know, there's going to be something that kind of is able to pull this out and shift where all of this is sitting for you. You may be getting answers to something that you've been sitting on for a while or questioning for a while, which is always great because when you have the answers that you need or the answers that you seek, it obviously gives you a sense of closure in some way, shape, or form. And sometimes just getting the answers, maybe it doesn't affect anybody else, but you can sit there and just know that you were right in what you were sensing at the time in your gut or something like that. The next one out is leadership, high influence in business, stepping into a leadership role. Know your value and self-worth, using logic over emotion. So this card has been coming out a lot as well in the last several weeks. So you are being called to step up in some way. And this could be a work thing. It may be that you're just starting something new for yourself. And so you're becoming the boss. It also may just be knowing your worth and value where you are. So that could be a promotion. It could be saying, okay, I am no longer accepting this particular type of treatment. There was a guy that I worked with in a bar and he was the day manager. I always worked at night. So he and I were polite to each other, but we never actually worked together. And everybody that worked at this place knew that he hired people that he could essentially bully. And there was a moment in time where everything was crazy that particular night. And so I was not only doing my normal duties in terms of getting the bar set up and all of that, I was having to deal with a lot of people on the floor for dinners, which wasn't normally what I had to do, especially on a weekend. But we had so many events. They had opened up the dance floor, which was normally closed, and filled that with tables so that people could eat because we had that much going on. And I tried to ask a question of one of the staff because there was somebody in. We couldn't figure out where she was meant to be because she didn't know the name of the person that had booked. It was for a bachelorette type event. And I went to ask this question and this guy screams at me in front of people. That is not how you speak to me. I don't care if I've done the wrong thing. I'll always own it. I'm happy to be spoken to, happy to take responsibility for my mistakes. You do not chastise me or scream at me in public. Nobody deserves that. I have never treated staff that way, and I refuse to accept that treatment for myself. So anyway, we sort out what's going on. He disappears and I speak to my boss and I went, this is unacceptable. He's like, look, I know, you know what he's like. I'm like, not an excuse. This man came back into the bar I was serving people and I turned around and I looked at him. I said, you. And then I made it very clear what was and wasn't acceptable and how he would address me in the future. My boss came in, took over serving. I dealt with this man. He apologized and he never mistreated me again, ever, ever, ever. And his staff came up to me later on that night before they headed out and they said, he apologized to you. And I said, absolutely. And they said, he doesn't apologize for anything. And I said, this is where you have to know your self-worth. You have to stand up for yourself. And they all went, we've never seen anything like that. This man, until the end of us working together, he never mistreated me again. What he did with other people, I don't know. The point of this story is you have to know your worth. You have to know your value. When I walk into an interview, if I'm going for a regular job, I know what I need to earn in order to make that job worthwhile for me. And so I will go in and I will negotiate the things that I need for that job to occur. So I have worked with people that have then found out what contractual stipulations exist for me. And sometimes people have talked about what I earn. I never share that with anybody, and people have been upset because it turns out I was earning more than others, and they were angry at me. And I'm like, first of all, I don't discuss my wage, none of your business. Second of all, I negotiated what I needed to make this worthwhile for me. If you need more, go figure it out. Go have that conversation. So I feel like this is a week where the line on this card, know your self-worth, is about you knowing it and standing up for yourself, knowing what you deserve. So make sure you take care of that. The other thing is, in a work situation, I always say, big girl panties on or big boy pants on, and you have to understand that business is business and emotions are separate. Unless you are being actively bullied or harassed, or something really untoward is going on, you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to be able to take criticism, constructive criticism, and be able to use that to improve what you're doing. So just make sure that all of that is playing a part. The next card out is rebuilding your life after loss, investing a lot of effort, ready to take action to improve, determination and drive. So I feel like this coldness card that came out second, I feel like this is what we're closing down and rebuilding. We then had the birth card straight after that. So I feel like all of this is all about stepping into this new chapter, leveling up for ourselves. Toxicity, toxic situations and people, it's time to purge, having a toxic mindset, dead-end relationships. This is all about ending this toxic cycle. I feel like this week is where a lot of this is coming to light. You're starting to see relationships, whether it be business, friendship, romantic, all of that is coming forward. And so you're realizing what is serving you and what isn't. The other thing is, maybe you're realizing that you're the one with the toxic mindset. And if you are, that's where you have to change. You have to do the work. If you go through life believing that you're the victim, I mean, you'll continue to be the victim. But not only that, it's if you continue to be the toxic person and you have no realization around what part you're playing in all of this, those cycles will continue. So that one's on you. Next card out is luck, good fortune, positive change, fulfilled wishes, unexpected happiness. This is what's on the other side. If you are able to make those shifts, I mean, we're getting answers. We've got the whole leadership thing. So that's leveling up. Like I said, it's no longer accepting treatment that doesn't serve you. And then you've got the rebuilding card. You have luck on your side, and there are going to be positive changes. So the only question is, are you choosing to remain in that toxic space? So we've got two last cards, and these came out last week. Alien, feeling alienated in life, feeling like you don't fit in, dealing with a foreigner, new experiences in life. Well, you've got a foreigner. If you're in America, you've got a foreigner doing this reading for you. But often when we're sitting in this space, we are feeling alienated. We're not feeling like we are part of this sort of wider world where there is love and friendship and all the things going on. So if you're feeling that way, pay attention to who this person is coming in. Whoever this is going to be instrumental in helping things shift. New things coming in with the birth card. Answers may make you feel a little more connected, because again, when you're getting answers on things that you were unsure of, that is always helpful, because it gives you clarity. Like I said, it may bring closure for you. And feeling like you don't fit in, this is where this rebuilding card comes in. This is where we do what works for us. This is where we go, okay, I don't fit into this world anymore. I have to create a new path. And that's where you go, okay, this is the world that I need to create. Yeah, and with the birth card, reinventing yourself. I feel like when you step into that, you will stop feeling so alien and so foreign. It will help you feel more like yourself. And the other thing is, whenever we're reinventing, whenever we're changing our direction that we're moving on a different path. We're at the fork and we choose one direction. Often when that happens, we will lose people along that journey, and that's okay. It just means that they're moving in a different direction, and we've served each other as best we can in this moment, and we have to go on separate journeys. It doesn't mean that you won't come back together. So often you hear about friendships. One of my best friends, we were the best of friends and inseparable for 2 years. And I always say she was the very first girlfriend that I ever had, the first human on this earth, apart from my now ex-husband, that I trusted just completely. We then lost contact for 10 years. And then 10 years later, we came back together and we have this incredible friendship. So just know that if there are people dropping off, it doesn't mean it's forever. It just means that right now you don't serve each other. But that will help you feel less alienated because the right people will be brought back in. And then the final card from this deck that jumped out was the Star. Wish fulfillment and blessings, wealth and fame, becoming quite popular, brand new and hopeful life. And I think that brand new and hopeful life is the key to this reading this week. We are stepping into this new chapter totally and completely. And yeah, it's time to embrace it. And that the feeling becoming quite popular, this is what happens when we are authentically ourselves and the right people come in. They all want to be in our orbit. People enjoy being around authenticity. And also, how often do we quiet ourselves down and shift who we are so that society will accept us? The reality is, when we're doing that, we're not being true to who we are. We're not being fair to ourselves. And the reality is, we were all put on this earth to be authentically who we are. And we are all different in weird and wonderful ways. And I always say, I'm not a personality that everybody is going to warm to. I'd like it if they did, but it's just not the reality. There are some people who I annoy the living shit out of. And you know what? It's okay, because the right people that enjoy me, who enjoy my content, and my friends are as weird as I am in different ways. And we all laugh together, and there's joy in what we're doing together. So just trust that who you are is enough. Trust that who you are is absolutely perfect, and trust that the right people will find you. Okay, so we're moving on to the Guiding Angels Oracle. I felt like we all needed a little guidance, and tonight the cards are just throwing themselves at me. So the first card out is Spiritual Warfare. Remember that you have all you need to stand strong in this life and have victory over the battlefields of your mind, heart, and soul. So often the battles that we're fighting are within us. It's about trying to quiet our mind and trust the process, trust the universe. And if you're somebody that watches High Vibe, and especially Full Disclosure, David and I talk at length about what's going on at the moment in the world and it being spiritual warfare. But I think in terms of this reading, this is about the battle within, and it's learning to trust. It's learning to remember who you actually are, and not allowing I don't want to say the darker voices, but not allowing the negative inner dialogue to win over you and convince you to conform, and convince you that you need to keep going, and convince you that it's too scary to take a step forward and actually explore the things that will serve you really well. sudden shift. Your current reality is shifting towards something very different from what you had anticipated. It will be for your highest good. This new trajectory, this new path is going to serve you so well, but this is a moment where you truly have to trust the universe. When we are thrust into this new space and this new arena, it can be terrifying. And I completely understand, because it's one of those things where we go, well, is this a mistake? Better the devil you know. This is a week to go for it. Just trust, completely surrender to where the universe is pushing you. Magic prayer. Your prayers will be answered. Speak your intentions and the universe will provide your heart's desires. So we've just had the eclipse. That was yesterday. A lot of the astrologers were saying, don't manifest on the eclipse, but we are now through it. So speak what you want into existence. And remember, when you're manifesting, you have to be incredibly specific. I used to think that I was manifesting and doing a really great job. And then I've learned from many different teachers over the years that you have to be so clear and concise, which can be frustrating, because I sort of think, some of these big sweeping statements, it explains everything perfectly. But the reality is you have to be very, very clear, because otherwise, this is why people say, be careful what you wish for. So be very clear, but it's a time to sit and think about what it is you want and actually create it. So the next card out is new opportunities. Better things are opening up for you. Leave the comfort zone behind and open your world to new possibilities with an open mind. I don't even need to talk about this. This is confirming everything that has been said so far in this reading. And then the last card from the Guiding Angels Oracle is Unite. Apparently I'm dyslexic today. Untie karmic knots. This situation is linked into a karmic energy and the reason of your challenges. It's time to work off your karmic debts. So this was all part of your soul contract and your purpose in coming down here. So it's time to really move your soul's progression forward and step into what you came here to do. Every time we come down here on earth, it is about spiritual lessons and developing further and further and further, so that we don't have to come back and repeat the same lessons. So take the opportunity every time it's offered to you for that spiritual growth, because it's just going to help you as a soul in the long run. Okay, and we are going to finish with the Dragon Oracle. I haven't used these in a hot minute, and I thought we could pull a couple to finish out. Okay, so the first one is the Emerald Dragon. Brings in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimension blueprint. So again, this is confirming everything that I literally said a moment ago. This is about your soul's growth. This is about the job that you came down to this earth to do. Now is the moment for some of these lessons to be learned, so that you can free your soul of having to ever do some of these lessons again. And believe me, I feel like I chose a life this time around that I apparently went, give it all to me. It's fine. I'm going to level up in a way that you can't believe. And you know what? Moments of it have sucked, but the journey itself has been incredible. And I look back at who I was and who I am, and I'm so grateful for all of it. And I know that you will feel the same. Just the growth part can always get a bit sticky. Okay, so Kuan Yin's Pink Dragon brings firm love that resets your karmic balance. See all of your cords dissolved by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine around you. This is a big week for all of us at a spiritual level. This is about growth. This is about stepping forward. It's about taking ownership of the life that we've lived and the life that we are living and where it is we want to go. As I said at the very beginning, pay attention to this man that is coming in, whether he be a romantic interest, which is highly possible for those that are open or looking for any of that. But he could just be someone who is a guide and helps you in a work capacity, a friendship capacity, just as in terms of guiding you through life. Lean on the people around you. As someone who's hyper independent and struggles to release control, struggles to ask for help, there are moments in time where you just need to, and it can help you exponentially. So lean into that, enjoy it. I hope that this resonated with some of you, if not all of you. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I know this is going to be an incredible week of expansion for all of us. So embrace it, go with it, trust the universe. Just close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the flow of the universe take you exactly where you're meant to go. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I will see you on Thursday for those of you that are on High Vibe for full disclosure.